Why is everyone quitting their job? Are they going crazy? Are they just being irresponsible? Or is there a reason why they're quitting their job? And do they maybe know something that you don't? In 2019, I graduated from the Harvard Business School of Canada, got my CPA designation, and got a job in finance and consulting at one of the top companies in the whole entire world. I remember walking to my corporate downtown office in my new tailored suit with really big dreams to climb the corporate ladder. And fast forward 4 years later, I quit my $80,000 corporate finance job after learning these 3 secrets about money. Hey guys, if you're new here, my name is Michael Kim and I'm a personal finance coach, CPA, and digital nomad. And my goal is to help you have control over your money and your life. The first secret about money that I learned is that no risk equals no reward. Okay, wait. We all know that this rule applies when it comes to investing. If you take no risk and you leave your money in cash, then your money's not going to grow. But did you know that this rule applies to everything in your life? After my parents made some bad financial decisions, they were constantly arguing about money. And growing up in this environment, I started to believe that taking risks meant death. And so if I wanted to survive, I needed to take no risk and take the safest route. And so even though as a kid I loved drawing and I loved playing the piano, I couldn't do those things anymore because these things were not safe. Instead, I decided to put my love for these things aside and do the complete opposite. And I decided to study accounting and finance in university. And after years of hard work, I finally got a job in corporate finance, and let me tell you, it was horrible. And so I started to ask myself, where did I go wrong? I would look at my biggest role models like Mariah Carey, Simu Liu, and Keshi, who are all people who come from similar backgrounds to me, and yet they were able to create a career in life where they are truly proud of and happy. And then I realized that if I wanted to create a career that I was truly proud and happy about, I would have to start putting myself out there, start making mistakes, and start failing. And so in 2020, I started my personal finance coaching business, and I was so awkward. I remember doing my first live video on Facebook and I was like super monotone, I was like reading off a script and it was not a vibe. But it was the first time I started taking risks and it was liberating. And in just a few years, I've helped over 50 clients learn how to effectively manage their personal finances and use money to completely transform their lives. And so in May 2023, I decided to take even a bigger risk to quit my 9-to-5 job to see what treasures and rewards lie beyond it. And so I want you to ask yourself, are you or have you been playing it safe? And what are the opportunities that will come to you if you start taking some risks? The second secret that I learned about money is that we're all playing the game of money. For a long time, I really struggled with this question of why do some people live in an abundance of wealth and luxury while other people are constantly struggling with their finances. When I was young, I would see some of my friends' family live in these beautiful homes, afford fancy vacations, while in my family, we were constantly struggling with money. And so after more than 4 years of studying accounting and finance, I finally figured out the answer to this question. I learned that we're all playing the game of money. Let's take a look at the game Monopoly. Imagine you're trying to play this game without even knowing the rules or the objective of the game. You're probably not going to do very well. Meanwhile, there's others who actually know the rules of the game and they know exactly what they need to do in order to win the game. The reason why the rich continue to get richer and the poor continue to get poorer is because the rich know the rules of the game and they know how to play to win. Meanwhile, the poor and middle class aren't even playing the game. For example, let me ask you this question. Between the poor, middle, and rich class, who do you think pays the most amount of taxes? You would think that the more money that you make and have, the more taxes you would pay, right? But in reality, that's not the case. The people who pay the most amount of taxes is the middle class, and here's why. There are three main types of income. There's employment income, business income, and investment income. And employment income is the worst type of income because it's taxed at the highest rates. In some of the highest tax brackets, more than 50% of your money can go directly into taxes. Imagine you're working every single day for 12 months, but only 50% of the time that you're working is actually money that you get to keep. This is what's happening with your employment income. And so people from the poor and middle class only really focus on one source of income, which is their 9-to-5 job, which is considered employment income. In contrast, rich people don't focus on employment income. Instead, they focus on business income and investment income, which is a lot more tax efficient. There's so many loopholes and ways in order to reduce your taxes from your business and investment income. And so after I learned this, I decided to only use my employment income to fund my business and my investment income. And while working my 9-to-5 job, I started growing my personal finance coaching business. I learned the rules of the game and I plan to play to win. And this is why I decided to quit my job. And now it's up to you to decide whether you want to learn the rules of the game and play the game of money. The third secret that I learned about money is that your health is the best investment. Before 2022, like most healthy people, I really took my health for granted. I was a young, healthy boy, and I would go drinking, partying, eating unhealthy food, and just focusing on enjoying life. Then, in 2022, my health started to rapidly deteriorate. I honestly don't know what happened to my body, but I suddenly started to get hives, rashes, eczema, and chronic inflammation all throughout my body from head to toe. And while being in this condition, I still had to wake up in the morning, go to my 9-to-5 job, and look at spreadsheets and numbers all day long. You know, it's already hard doing a job that you don't really like, but when you're literally mentally and physically suffering, it's impossible. And so I was faced with a really big dilemma. Should I stay at this job that is stressing me out but is paying the bills? Or do I quit my job and prioritize my health? And that's when I realized it doesn't matter how much money that you have if you don't have your health to actually enjoy it. For the first time, I realized that my health is the number one priority. And so that's the reason why I decided to quit my job. And after quitting my job, I really started to prioritize my health. I started implementing healthy habits like walking, meditation, hot yoga, and eating a really healthy diet. And literally within a few weeks of quitting my job, I started to see massive improvements in my health. And so the job that I was working at was essentially draining my life force. And so it didn't matter how much that job was paying me because money means nothing if I don't have my health. And so if there's something in your life like a toxic workplace or a job you don't like that is literally draining your life force, how can you let it go and prioritize your health? And so these are the 3 secrets that I learned about money that led me to leave my corporate job. I hope my story and these lessons give you a different perspective and something to think about. Deciding to quit your job is a very personal financial decision. And so you might not be ready yet. But if you take at least one thing away from today, I want you to ask yourself, what do you actually want? And if what you're doing right now is helping you get to where you want to be. And if not, what can you start to do today to start working towards a life that you are truly happy and proud to live? I really hope that you guys enjoyed this very vulnerable and personal money chat that we had today. If you want to continue to have these types of chats and learn more about your personal finances, make sure to like and subscribe so you're notified when I release a new video next week. And what I always like to say is that personal finance is personal. And so if you have any questions about your specific situation and your future goals, then make sure to let me know in the comments or shoot me a DM on my Instagram at Michael Lee Kim. That's it for today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.